What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines. And today we're going to give you guys our top 5 contenders to win the 2022 NBA Finals. Let's get into it.
All right, now that the playoffs have started, it's funny though because like these contenders, I mean, they may or may not have been who I was looking at prior to the playoffs started, right?
Right. Regular season play versus playoff play, two different types of play. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's get started. All right. So for me, the first one I have in no particular order are the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat could win the NBA championship. They were number one in the Eastern Conference. I think they have championship DNA. Heat culture. If defense wins championships, then they are definitely at the top.
I don't have the Miami Heat on my list. However, I do agree with you that defense helped win championships. And for me, I'm going to go in no particular order. I have the Boston Celtics on my list. Whatever this Boston Celtics team is doing right now, they putting on a clinic on defense. I'm not even going to hold you. Now, perhaps it may be to a team that the Brooklyn Nets that we thought would be much better in the playoffs. I mean, at least I did. And I am thoroughly disappointed in the performance of the Brooklyn Nets. If it wasn't for Bruce Brown, I don't know what they would be doing. So anyway, I still say that for me, the Boston Celtics and their NBA championship aspirations for this season with the play they've put in round one has them on my list, and they can potentially, as they're playing today, win the championship for this season. Absolutely. I mean, come on, we're
Ooh.
talking about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that tandem. What? Marcus Smart and that defense, and then all the other pieces. When you can't, when you can take a ball from somebody, like just snatch it, have that person fumbling, it is just
Yeah.
and to be coached by Coach Udoka right now, I think
Mhm.
all teams want that coach in their organization, right? That type of coaching in their organization right now because it's amazing.
Yeah, I have the Celtics as well on my list. I mean, for all the reasons you mentioned, I've never seen Kevin Durant so shook by anyone's defense until right now.
I'm speechless. If you've watched any of our previous videos, I would always say in KD I trust. I
Yes.
can't say that today. And that's disheartening for me.
The thing is, the Celtics brought back Robert Williams III. So it's like, oh my goodness, I just don't know. The Boston
Oh,
Celtics are definitely on my list as a top
definitely.
five contender. But next up for me
Mhm.
are the Memphis Grizzlies. Oh, yeah. They are so unpredictable. You don't know who's going to be the hero from game to game. And that's why I think they're so dangerous. They're well coached and they have a bunch of dogs on their roster. I'm going with the Memphis Grizzlies.
I was torn with adding the Memphis Grizzlies to my list, so I put them on my bonus, like they're my plus one. So it's like 5 plus 1. You know me, I always gotta have something extra.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
agree with you 100% about the Memphis Grizzlies. They weren't on my list. They're not on my five. However, they're on my six. No particular order, but yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies. Wow, wow. Who's next? Like next man up mentality for that particular roster. 100%. So I agree with that, but they're not on my
Mhm,
list. I'm gonna go with the Golden State Warriors because those Splash Brothers plus one because they added
mhm.
Jordan Poole to that.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't. I can tell you right now, regular season Warriors. I was like, we'll see how far they go. This playoff season Warriors, who welcome to the party. Like, oh, it is amazing basketball. Even so, I just can't wait to see them move forward. Like, I am excited about watching them play. Forget their opponents, them. I don't care who they play, but they play. They're amazing. So yeah, and you talking about can shoot the ball like and Draymond Green. Oh my god, I can't get enough of the Golden State Warriors. So yes, I see them as a top contender to win the NBA Finals this particular season.
I don't have them on my list,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have the Milwaukee Bucks, defending champs. I mean, come on. You got Giannis playing at a different level during the playoffs with or without Middleton. The way the Bucks are constructed, I think they'll be just fine moving forward. The Bucks are definitely on my list.
Bucks are on my list as well. And on my list for this particular reason, who can stop Giannis? Like,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
just what in Drew Holiday in his defense. So yeah, they can, and they're the reigning champions. Let's just
yeah.
not forget that. And they made moves, but they are still the champions of the NBA right now. And so who's gonna take them down? Of course, they're on my list. And again, who can stop Giannis? So yeah, I have the Milwaukee Bucks on my list as well.
Okay. Now, this one right here, this next team, I think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. They are a little hobbled right now, but they have the coach of the year, in my opinion, the Phoenix Suns. On my list, they better win this year. I'm putting pressure on them to win. I think it's an emotional decision for me because I feel like maybe last season was their time. And to see this same unit with the addition of McGee now in
Hmm.
the paint,
Hmm.
it makes them a top contender for me to win the championship.
I have to agree with you on that. I have the Phoenix Suns on my list as well for the same reasons that you've mentioned, but also because I really would love to see what Monty Williams will do in the finals this year when he coaches. So it's just about that. Will we have the coaching matchup that I'm anticipating this particular season, and how will that fare out? So yeah, Phoenix Suns, hands down, even without Devin Booker for a time being. We know that they played without Devin Booker during the regular season and they were still successful, still the number one team in the league. So, Phoenix Suns, absolutely, absolutely on my list. One last team that I have on my list is the Philadelphia 76ers. I think that they are title contenders, yes, on the back of Joel Embiid. Now, I know that that could be a little suspect right now because of Joel Embiid's injury that he's playing through or playing with. But there's so much at stake. And if Joel Embiid is in his bag, and then Maxi has, for me, been the shining light that the 76ers have had on their roster. No, it is not your James Harden. It is your Tyrese Maxey, just for me. And so I think that com- based on the matchup, because if they were to win their round one, they would compete against, I believe it may be the Heat or the Hawks. So you pick your poison.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I think that a title contender for me, my last one would be the 76ers.
Yeah, I like the Sixers. They are not on my list, but that Tobias Harris has really earned his keep, I think, during the first round. Maxi too. But Tobias has been, I knew Maxi was going to give me what I'm seeing right now, but Tobias, he's the one that kind of surprised me a little bit.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, I can see that. No, totally. So we'll see. We'll see. But I have the 76ers as one of my top five contenders for the NBA title.